I don't know if it's morning yet or not. I just got ready to go to the doctor's. But hi, everybody. I hope this morning is doing good for you. Everybody over in the UK, Australia, Canada, of course, the United States, people in Ohio, people across the world that are cold right now. It's cold right where I'm at. I'll tell you, it's in the 20s. So, and I got to head out and go to the doctor's, but Um, I told you yesterday that I was going to do a video about it's sort of going to be government-ish kind of deal, but no politics because I don't know nothing about politics. All I know is uh, there's this group and there's this group and then there's a group in between, and nobody knows nothing. But when it all boils down to it, they're all the same. So uh, one has an agenda over here, and this one has an agenda, but whoever's running all of them is something else. So, uh, but I wanted to just quietly come in here and talk about some of the things that are coming into play and how it's going to affect especially people that live by themselves. Um, And I know, and I've been telling y'all to be prepared and be aware of what's going on. And of course, a lot of people don't want to believe what's coming and what's going on. A lot of people don't want to believe that that they spray aluminum in the clouds and in the air to keep the sun from us and to make it rain and to manipulate the weather. Now, I can't say who's doing that because I don't know. But you can see the chemtrails everywhere when an airplane goes through and stuff. And there was some evidence of when they showed the air thing over top of the hurricane that was going around, and they showed it from the top. You could see there was an airplane there, and you could see them shooting some kind of beam in among that, and then the hurricane got a lot worse. So um, a lot of things going on, a lot of companies and stuff out there that are taking over different parts of the country because there's lithium mines and whatever was in Maui. I don't know what that was all about, but those those fires burned awfully hot and melted metal and didn't burn the trees. So I'm just saying, I'm just saying that they have equipment and stuff to manipulate the weather. And so here we are. The sun came out for a minute or two earlier, and now it's dreary and it's still cold. So from what I can see, it's only going to get up in the 30s today sometime. But um, and that's just one aspect of what. Now here's the thing. Okay, they talk about uh, climate warming. Well, I have to say that has to be a perfect lie because I can remember when I was a teenager when it was hot. It was hot, and then the winter times was a lot of snow and stuff, and wasn't so cold that I, as a teenager, couldn't get out and about and do what I wanted to do. But um, yeah, there's climate change, all right, but it's not natural. So I don't know. I know a lot of yous are going to believe what you want to believe, and that everything is kosher and everybody wants the best for us, but no, that's not the case. Everybody doesn't want the best for us, and so that's why I keep harping on everybody. learn different tricks of the trade of being this old, this old, this old, this old, but try not to get old. Do everything in your power not to get so old that you can't take care of yourself and you can't uh, get out in the car and go if you have to. Uh, Whatever it takes. And if it, and I know that I have skimped an awful lot on what I eat, and it's not that I'm uh, being intentional on losing weight. I want to lose weight, but I'm not going to starve myself either to do it. I'm going to eat right and let my body do what it needs to do to take care of the weight. And my legs have been doing a world of better. I started taking the B vitamin complexes, and I quit eating eggs, like I told y'all. And now I don't know about duck eggs. I haven't tried them since I quit eating eggs, but I have eaten duck eggs. They're good. We grew up with eating a lot of duck eggs whenever they were given to us or whatever. Um, but the climate change, which is not natural, and you figure this. They're already saying, and they've talked about it. I've heard them talk about depopulation, depopulate the world because they're trying to say there's too many people on the world. Well, the way I see it, that's just like animals in the animal kingdom. There's never too many because nature takes care of it. The natural resources and stuff take care of there being too many of this or that or whatever. Believe me, there's enough humans on this planet that and enough evil and stuff going on that will um, fix the population explosion. And now, of course, the new way of depopulating is, in which I think a lot of that uh, is wrong too. Women are treating men really bad, and there's a lot of bad men out there. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of good men too, and the good men get treated bad too. So, um, but the women are they're done. They're done. They're gonna shave their hair and they're gonna go celibate and well, whatever you need to do, honey pot. So in other words, there's not going to be no more population explosions like have supposedly happened during the war and whatnot. But um, there's some things coming that a lot of people are not going to be ready for. And the okay, well, I think I told you the other day about what Walmart's doing now. And they've got those self checkouts. Well, eventually, the other checkouts are going to be gone because Walmart don't want to pay employees. They're trying to get rid of jobs and stuff so people won't have jobs, and so they'll have to turn to a source one way or the other. And but they're doing the self checkouts now. They're going to charge you to do it. Now it basically it's a membership, just like you do a membership with Walmart for them to deliver or and to ship things to you, and you get free shipping. But it's $100. It's $100 a year. So this new thing is that they're going to charge people for they're going to charge people to work for them. How dumb do they think we all are? I don't know. I mean, I was dumb in my lifetime, but I've grown up a little bit since then. So I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh, I'd like to know who sits up there. Well, they do have. Each company has special people that sits up in their little office and sits and thinks this stuff up. I kid you not. I kid you not. And they get paid good money to do that too. And but again, see, here's what they're not taking into consideration. I know when they're doing blind studies for medicines and stuff like that, they don't get every type of person in the world that there is. And so they get a certain group of people, and they do the placebo effect on some, and then they do the real medicine and stuff like that. But they don't have everybody in the world. They don't have every type in the world. And when they met me, well, no, they haven't met me yet. And when they do meet me, I'm a total different species. I could probably might say I am an alien because I don't fit their criteria when they're doing them studies. So when they sit down and think up this stuff like for Walmart, now really, now there's going to be a lot of people that's going to do it. Not me. I'll just go to another store. I mean, Walmart is, at this point in time, in some things, uh, cheaper than a lot of places. But again, if you reduce what you're eating to just the things that are going to sustain your body, and you let your brain produce the chemicals that will help sustain your body with the nourishment that goes along with that. So that's one thing they're doing. And some Walmarts now, when you not here where I'm at, has it, but they'll, if you like, you use your cart, right, and you're going to haul your stuff out to your car. Cart won't go so. It'll only go so far. So, say for instance, you've got your little youngins with you, and you got them in the cart with you, or they're alongside of you or something, and you're pushing your cart out to the car. It ain't gonna let it happen. There's something in it, some kind of chip or mechanism that it'll only go so far. Now, what are you going to do with all your kids and stuff while you're doing that? You leave your cart sit there? Now, I'm sure that they'll let you know that that's the case. I don't think they're that cruel. Well, they may be. You don't know. But what are you going to do with all your kids? Take them to the car, and a lot of people don't want to leave them sit in the car. Well, there are a lot of people that will do that, though. I'll tell you. And so you're how you gonna how you gonna get your groceries out to your car? Gotta bring along your own bags because that's eventually gonna happen too. Well, the thing of it is, they're pushing you to order everything online. And because I've noticed it, when I order online, whatever company I'm ordering from, they keep tabs of what you buy, and then they try to offer it to you again. Well, if you've already bought certain things, well, you don't need them again. So, but it keeps tabs of what you're buying. And say, for instance, when the digital, when it's full digital, and you got to pay with your card, because cash is going to be gone. You might as well face that. Cash is going to be gone. It doesn't matter who gets in for the presidency. It doesn't matter. Now, the president will take care of foreign affairs and who comes into our country and stuff like that. We'll help get some laws changed and things. And but he can't do anything either unless Congress goes along with it and helps vote. I know they stand up there and they promise this and promise that, and a lot of them can do that if they can persuade Congress. Because even in Congress, there's still both parties in there. So I've I don't know whoever have you if you've ordered online, especially Walmart's, because that's where I do my grocery shopping. Well, it'll say underneath different different items that this is EBT eligible. So, in other words, you use your food stamps to get that particular item. So, here's what I see happening. If you're using your food stamps, there's only going to be certain items you're going to be allowed to use. And they're going to keep track of that. And if they don't think that you should have Coke or ice cream or something like that, they're not going to allow you to buy it. That's coming. They're going to tell you what you can buy and what you can't buy. Now, I know President Trump is probably going to try to change all that, but there's somebody higher up here that's running the show. And I'm not saying the creator. So try to not try to get yourself away from meat if you can. Um, Now I've got some tuna up in the cupboard. I've got a little bit of hamburger in the cupboard, which I mean in the fridge in the freezer, because I like to have spaghetti from time to time, and spaghetti's no good without hamburger. But the tuna now, you got to worry about that because of all the crap they've dumped into the sea, and so you get all that mercury in your fish, and God knows whatever else, and all the plastics and stuff. And speaking of plastic, and then plastic water bottles that you get your big 24 pack of water, there's micro pieces of plastic laying in that water from that plastic bottle. And we drink that, and that gets in our organs, that gets in our cells. It's like little teeny microchips or something like that. That's how tiny it is. So, but that's in our oceans too, and that's getting in our fish, our seafood. So there's a lot of things coming, but I think, and then that's just like, well, okay, uh, our next president is going to uh, deport all the immigrants that they brought in, right? That the other side brought in. Well, there's going to be chaos in that. There's going to be total chaos in that. So be prepared for it. Be prepared for them trying to find uh, a place to hide. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to scare you. But one thing I do, if you're sitting and taking the time, and I do it first thing in the morning with the Creator, let the Creator steer you in the direction that you should go. Your path is going to be different than my path. My path is going to be different than um, I might also say it, my boyfriend's path. And but the thing is that you have got to look out for you, not your brothers, not your sisters, not your kids, unless they live with you. If they live in the house with you, then you be the matriarch. I can't say that. You'd be the head honcho and use your wisdom and what you've been learning and say, this is how we're going to do it. There's not going to be 3 meals a day. There's going to be one good meal a day. And if you can get some fruit, apples are good for you in the wintertime if you're here in where it's cold. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, is what they say. So be prepared that there's not going to be any cash, because they want this all to fall in place by 2030. Whoever's up here, it doesn't matter what president gets in. These people up here are still going to push it through. But the president we got right now, I believe, is going to try to push back on that. And but here's the thing: I don't want you to be worried, and I don't want you to be afraid. I just want you to be determined to do what you need to do to make your body stronger. If you're not all that mobile, work on it. Work on it. And I know I don't particularly like to take chemically made vitamins, but if you need to do that for a time until you can get the kind of food that is going to supply you with all those vitamins. So I take B complex, all of them together, B12 and everything, and my legs have been doing better. Now the knees are another factor, but um, make sure you got uh, a food supply in your house, and make sure that you've got, like, I juggle my electric heat around all over the place. I juggle it. Now, like last night, my neck was hurting me really bad. I threw it out of place, and I put heating pad on it. Well, for me to do that, I went over in my recliner, and I have plug-in and stuff there. I didn't plug the tree in, because when I plug the tree in and have my heater on here, then it trips the breaker. And so you got to sit and maneuver your mind around and things around to where you have a little of all of it, right? Watch a little bit of TV, put a candle on with a little bit extra light. But the TV, if you got a big enough TV, it'll show big enough light. So I sit there with the heating pad on my neck, and I covered up. So find out what's best for you and how you can handle it. But again, and it all goes back to taking time and communicating with the Creator, and communicating with who you are in here, and do what's best for you, so you can have a little bit of everything that brings you a little bit of comfort. And use your brain. Let your brain work for a while. Put your brain to work. Don't let your brain work on video games and stuff like that. Working on how it make your life better. Do a merry heart. Keep your heart merry. Um, Laugh a lot. Laugh. I've been laughing so much lately, I'm telling you. We talk on the phone because, he's like 2 hours away from me. And so we can't see each other all the time. So when we're talking on the phone, He makes me laugh so hard. And then, of course, he's on the other end laughing, talking about something that happened to me in my past. And I'd said, somebody said something to me and about my weight and stuff. And I turned around and said to him, well, at least I don't have bird legs. I was talking to him about that. Now, that's all. We laugh about the bird legs now. Pterodactyl, how you said, pterodactyl legs or something like that. But he makes me laugh, and you gotta make yourself laugh. You gotta have a merry heart. And if you get all dried up and bitter and angry at this and angry at that, um, and being angry is not going to help the situation. It's just not going to do it. It's going to make your body hurt. It's going to make your body sick. Your body's not going to be able to even digest and the nutrients that you're putting in your body because your gut will be all upset. So, there's not going to be any cash, and I'm not sure how long that's going to take. And everything's going to be digital. You're going to have to do everything online. Well, here's basically what it is. If any of you out there have ever watched Star Trek, and the older one now, they had to have had it because they're up in the air, they're up in space. They're not on the planet anymore. So they have a system in their spaceships that it's like a digital how much they made, and stuff, and they rations and stuff. They called it like rations or something like that. And the replicators would make the food for them and stuff. And so, okay, they're allowed $30 a day for food. We'll say that. So, and they use it for this or rations for different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I need a new sweater or something. And so they, in those shows, Star Trek, The Next Generation, and all of them, they don't use money. It's just all on the computer and whatever. They don't even use cards. I think they use something or another. So that's all coming, babe. That's all coming, everybody. You're all coming. You gotta know. And of course, and I talked to my fella, and we're in sync with one another that there's things coming, and some of us will get touched more than others. So you just got to be vigilant and watch out for it. So, what else is coming? What else is coming? Of course, they're going to do away with the plastic bags because they're getting in the oceans and stuff like that. Now, that's a good thing, but you got to be aware of that. You got to have uh, bags that aren't disposable, and I've got a few of them. I pick them up here and there and stuff. Um, you got to be aware that when you go to thrift stores, now the Goodwill, they've done away with the bags. So you got to be aware and go and take your own bags, unless you can carry it out in your arms. Sometimes they try to use the boxes and stuff that they get, but that'll probably soon stop too. But um, the online shopping and the portals that the the health issues and stuff and the social security, that's all going. You're not. There's going to come a day that you're not going to be able to call them up on the phone. That you're going to have to do everything online. I'm just saying. There's big changes coming. I've seen so many changes in my time here on this earth. I remember a time there wasn't no television. There wasn't no phones. It just them ringy, 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 ringy things, and we didn't have one of them. But there were no. It was telegram, click, 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 and I don't remember any of that. But I remember the first time that ever got to watch television. The first time they put it on Channel 2. Katie, KDKA, I think that's what it was. So we're evolving, and you've got to evolve with it. And the nice thing about it is that if we last long enough, they might be able to come up with keeping us alive forever in this body. I like my body that I'm in right now. I mean, it's a little overweight, but I'm working on it. And so don't be afraid of the changes. And of course, the UFOs and stuff like that. And like I said, I do believe in aliens, and there's extraterrestrial and there's terrestrial. And for one thing, if you believe that it's angels, well, they're not of this world. They're from out there. They're terrestrial, and so if they're already here on the planet, which everybody this last week there's been a lot of sightings, a lot of people, and they've got videos of them, and of course the government is talking about it now, and the government has admitted that way back in Area 51 that they they found some extraterrestrial bodies, and they've got them someplace. So it's coming out just like yesterday. We were supposed to have an alien war, an invasion, uh, different things, and the whole thing of it is that we're evolving, and whether we're made from aliens or whether we're made from God or whatever the case may be, we're still going to go through some stuff, and we still got to learn how to evolve with the times. And so I hope this. I don't want to scare you. Don't be scared, because fear is what they thrive on. The whoever up there, out there, wherever it's at. Keep a merry heart. Keep a lot of laughter in your heart. Keep a lot of love in your heart. And if you ain't got nobody in your life to love on, well, think of your ex dead husband that you had good times, and think of all the good times that you thought about and the things that made you feel good and happy. If that's all you've got to think about to make you happy, then use that. So, but I'm going to go. Merry heart doeth good like medicine. Just remember that. And if you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right. But sometimes we can take that and make things happen. So you all have a great day.